Welcome to this new episode of Don't Make Me Call Her podcast. This week we're not going to do videos, sorry. So you can't see our beautiful faces because we just can't be fucked. So this week, today, I want to talk about pet peeves. I mean, we are in a biracial marriage. So you're white, I's Chinese, and you lived in Hong Kong, and now I live in Australia. So we get the best of both worlds and the worst. So I want to talk about pet peeves today.
How many are we doing? We're doing a top 5, yeah?
Let's do a top 5 because who wants to listen to us going on about nothing apart from those 6 people? Hello, 6 people.
Back again.
Back again. So.
Right, what do you got?
Wait, hold on. So let's just explain to people. You lived in Hong Kong for how many years? 10 years?
12 years.
Oh, 12 years.
Yeah.
And when you first got there, what did you notice straight away being like a white person?
What did I notice? I don't know. I kind of always love being the odd one out. It's kind of good. But okay, I'm just going to throw out the first one.
Yeah. Walking
in public. And for such a fast-paced city, everyone walks quite slowly and always walks in front of you. They kind of wander across the footpath. It doesn't matter where you walk. You try and walk behind someone and they'll just drift into your lane the whole time. It never ends. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you do it or where you go.
Yeah, because they're just like faffing around, either like looking at the buildings or whatever they're looking at, or like your street sign, or they're looking on your phone, on their damn phone.
Yeah. So you're constantly in traffic.
Yeah, it's actually quite annoying. Like when I was younger, my dad used to walk so fast and you can't keep up with him.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like he could be like, he would be walking, but it kind of looks like sprinting. So me and my little legs trying to like keep up with it, it's just impossible. Mum used to get really annoyed when we go out. My mum's like always in high heels, you know, very like glamorous. And she's like, wait for me. So my dad definitely wasn't a slow walker.
Yeah, that gets on your nerves.
My pet peeves in Australia is, as you all know, barefoot walking. Just now, we were at Coles supermarket and a tiny little girl who must have been 3 years old with her granny, barefoot completely. And I was like, I mean, it's almost like 30-something degrees here still. It's boiling hot.
Got to train them young.
What, to have thick skin on your foot? I mean,
no, just to walk around barefoot.
But why? I mean, anyway, we're not going to go down to that road again.
Yes.
But what I find gross is when you get on a plane. When white people go barefoot everywhere. I'm like, at least put the plain socks on, you know? Because, you know, when you go to the loo, the floor is gross. People miss when they pee and it's just all these gross. People, puke and you're going to go into that tiny little loo.
That's the gross bit.
It is actually quite gross.
What have I got? All right, here's a good one. Nail clipping in public on the MTR or on the train or the bus or whatever. You're just going, oh God, there's another. You can hear that little clipping sound and you're like, where is it? Where is it? I know it's here somewhere.
Until you see one landed on your fucking lap and you're like, that is disgusting, right? And it's usually like kind of like middle-aged older men and women. Yeah. And I'm like, who the fuck brings out a nail clipper with them all the time?
Just to do it on the train.
But why on the MTR? MTR is that underground. So why would you do it? I just don't understand. Are you that rush? I mean, to do it in public, I have no qualm about it.
Yeah.
And when people look at you, you think there's nothing, you know.
I know. I get really nervous when I hear that clicking sound.
Yeah.
It's like, got to move away from wherever the source is coming from in case nails come flying my direction.
So one of mine is the revving of car engine. I mean, we live near a park. And it's always some like little dick energy revving their car in the middle of the night. They have no consideration whatsoever for people. And they're probably just driving a shitty Ford.
Yeah, with a giant exhaust pipe on it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can tell, you know, when you're walking down the street in Perth, it's always like a Ford or some like shitty car that rev the engine go past you and you're like, darling, you're not a Ferrari. You're not like, you know.
Exactly. I'm not sure who they're trying to impress, whether it's other guys or girls or
women.
Yeah.
I mean, I can speak for some women. I'm sure some women get a kick out of it. Most women just find that really off-putting.
Maybe you should leave a little message down on the sign down there.
Yeah, it ain't working.
From a woman's perspective.
For God's sake. Next.
Okay, I got one for you. What about footprints on the toilet seat?
Oh, yeah.
When you go into a toilet somewhere and you're like, okay, here we go.
So it's a habit of some people in Asia. When I worked in China, I actually, I'm so used to having like a proper loo seat.
Yeah.
So when I first lived in China, 2005, by then it was already quite advanced.
Yeah.
But some of my friends who've been in China a lot longer than I have, they've always said to me, you're so lucky that you're here 2005. Because back in the day, it would just be like a hole in the ground.
Was there a cutoff point in the calendar? They went, okay, from here on we're doing...
it depends where you travel to. Sometimes when we go on shoot, with Vogue China, we would go to really remote places because of the nice scenery or like a location shoot. And it would just be a hole on the ground.
Yeah.
And I used to, I wasn't as germophobic then, but I don't think I can survive now.
See, I don't mind those. We in our house when I grew up we lived in Malaysia. I didn't grow up there. But yeah, we had those toilets in our house in some of the bathrooms.
No.
I don't mind it at all. But
Ew.
But it's kind of just when I see footprints on a toilet seat, you're like, okay, I get that you like the other kind of toilet, but can you just not adapt for a little bit?
Apparently it's more hygienic.
Oh yeah, for sure it is.
But your squatting skills have to be very, very good.
Yeah.
I'm always worried that if I'm wiping my ass, that I will miss my ass and then trying to balance myself and like my foot will go into my shit.
Yeah. And you fall in the hole.
And then you fall in the hole or you dip your shoes in your wee or something. It's just, oh my God, it's a lot of balancing act.
It's very difficult when you've got jeans on. That's all I'll say.
It's just not as easy as people think.
Yeah, it's not as convenient, even though it's better for you, physically. But trying to manage all your clothing during winter while you're...
Can you imagine if you've got a big skirt on? You'll be so screwed.
Or like a long jacket, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, this is never going to end
I'll just
well.
hold my pee.
Yeah.
So, what's for lunch? What's for lunch?
What's for dinner?
What's for lunch? What's for dinner?
What's for lunch?
What's for dinner? What's for dinner? What's for lunch? What's for dinner? What's for dinner? What's for lunch?
Hello.
Hello, Tony. It's Grace. Where are you?
Hey, Gracie. I am just having lunch with my cousin in Muji.
Muji in Hong Kong. What are you eating? What's for lunch?
I have been overeating for the last 2 weeks because we've been having like lots of family banquets and stuff. So I've got prawn and avocado salad.
Yum.
A potato, sweet corn and edamame salad and a grilled chicken with a sweet chili sauce. And then I've got miso soup and a multi-grain rice.
Quite healthy. I love Muji Cafe.
Oh, yeah. It's the first time I've been here.
Oh, wow.
Because in the UK, we don't have such big stores, so we don't have like cafes here.
Yeah.
But in Hong Kong and Japan, they have like cafeterias and it's pretty good price.
Yeah. I love Muji, man. I wish they have it in more in Australia. Well, I won't keep you. Don't want your food to get cold. Enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Enjoy Hong Kong.
I will do. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, next. What do you got?
Leaf blower. What the hell? Why the hell do people use leaf blower? It's pointless.
Yeah.
It is so pointless. And everyone wakes up here so early, right?
It's like you hear kookaburras in the morning and then you hear like, cockatoos and then leaf blowers. It's kind of like part of the morning soundtrack.
There's no leaf blower in Hong Kong or like in Asia. It's only in the West or it's here.
Yeah, I don't know why. They've got an obsession. They love it.
And what's worse is some of the leaf blowers, you use petrol to ignite them. So much CO2.
You would think by now they would have figured that out, but
there's no point of blowing leaf from left to right, and that's what it does.
Yeah, I love it when people are blowing leaves on a windy day. You're like, dude, really? Like, what? What gives here? All right, so I have a phobia every time I need to go to or from an airport about getting in a taxi.
Hong Kong taxi.
kind of anywhere. It even happened to be in Sydney that for some reason I always get the driver who's on the end of his shift and they're exhausted.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it terrifies me whenever I'm going anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's either the taxi driver is tired and asleep and I have to wake them up, or the other thing is the taxi drivers in Hong Kong who have 15 phones across their dashboard.
Yeah.
And you know that they're all just betting on the horse racing or doing whatever.
Yeah.
And none of them are ever looking at the road. They're just like busy staring at the phones, and it scares the shit out of me.
Oh, 100%. And when you tell them off, they get really like defensive and really like mean and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when I was pregnant, like maybe less than 3 months, when you can't tell people.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even showing anyway. So I went into a taxi in Hong Kong and I was going to go to work. And for some reason, he didn't think I was from Hong Kong, which I don't know why, because I spoke Cantonese.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to take the long way so that I wouldn't notice. I'm like, what the hell, you know? So I called him out and then he just went off about something really ridiculous, stupid, right? And then
Were you talking on your phone in English or something? Is that
I can't
why?
remember. Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember. And then when I said, what are you doing? Take that road instead. He just got into like, you know, he bunched up his knickers and then just kind of, well, you know, I know I'm the taxi driver here. You know, I know what I'm doing. I'm like, clearly not.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of I couldn't get into a fight with him. So I got out my lipstick and start, you know, putting on my red lipstick, lippy. And then he said, don't you tell me how to drive a car. You know, you're putting on lipstick. That's not cool either. I'm like,
what?
Oh my God, what are you talking about?
What's that got to do with anything?
I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, Hong Kong taxi drivers, I've met some nice ones, but the majority of them are just like really moody and they don't want to do, or they never want to take you anywhere.
They're always moody.
Yeah. So, and then now they're like, you know, in this dispute with Uber drivers.
Yeah.
And trying to say they stole their business, whatever and stuff. Anyway, like if you want more clients, basically you need to give better service.
Be nice.
Exactly. Anyway, so my thing is not only in Australia, anywhere I go, even, you know, when I lived in London or UK, when I speak, people expect me to be, because I was Chinese, and they expect me to have an accent maybe. So when I don't have an accent that they think I should have, they're very surprised.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first of all, most of the time I get, oh my God, you speak such good English. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, what is that supposed to mean? So because as Chinese, I'm not allowed to speak good English. So I'm always like, well, I can put on a Chinese accent if that makes you feel better. Or I can speak like normal, like now. Oh my God, your English is so good. You know, how come you got an English accent? I'm just like, for
give us your best Chinese accent. Throw it in there. For fuck's
sake, I can put them both if you want. Make up a fucking mind.
I get the opposite of that when we're in like a yum cha, and then I try and order in Cantonese, and people don't expect. They don't listen for it. They expect me to be speaking English. So if I throw it out there in Cantonese, they just stare at me blankly like, what are you saying?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it goes both ways. Last but not least, what's your last pet peeve?
Oh, this was a good one. Well, technology, Hong Kong and technology.
What do you mean?
It's caught in the middle. It has super fast, very clever, you know, internet, all that stuff, super high speed, everything, but they still work as though it's 1975. And, you know, I think what summed it up perfectly was when I was trying to shut down one of your web addresses, like your domains. Yes. And I emailed the domain company. I was like, oh, can we shut this thing down? And he's like, oh, yeah, can you just fill out this form and fax it to me? I was like, what? I was like,
what is that?
You're a web company selling web things and you want me to fax you? I was like,
it's so
God,
ironic. No one has a fax machine, people. I mean, for God's sake.
Yeah. So I had to go online, find an online fax machine and then set it all up and then send him a fax to say, can you close my web address down?
I mean, it drives you crazy in Australia with the whole internet speed. It is so damn slow.
Yeah, but it's like the pace of life. You can't turn it up too fast.
Oh my God.
In Australia, you just got to be chill, and the internet's got to be chill as well.
So how do people do like huge business? I mean, if you have to upload big files all the time, what do you do?
Oh, you have to pay lots of money.
That's just
to get
bullshit,
a super fast connection. I don't know why it costs so much.
It's all about money anyway.
It's like I get Australia is a big country and it's a lot to put in, but really I would get 5-10 times faster speed on my phone in Hong Kong than what I ever got out of a connection in Australia.
And it's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
And it always works. I mean, how many times have we reset our routers? Like hundreds of times.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. In Hong Kong, never.
No.
It's just bloody ridiculous. Get on with it, man.
Right.
So my last one is white people going to graveyard.
We love it.
I don't understand. Like, you can bring back bad spirits, and then just why? Like, why would you go there? Like, as for fun. I mean, if you have like someone who passed away, you'll go and visit them. Fine.
Yeah.
But some people, some like kids, will go and like hang out in the graveyard. I'm like,
yeah,
oh my
it's
God.
a very cool thing to do in Paris.
Why is it cool?
Or whatever. I don't know. People like to do that. Going to visit Jim Morrison's grave. You're like, yeah. Okay,
I mean, I kind of get it, but I mean, I don't like him enough to go and I mean, like, I just don't get it. And
who do you really like, and would you go and visit their grave? Someone who's died. Would you go to Bruce Lee's?
Oh, yeah, Bruce Lee for sure. Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
Because we share the same birthday.
So you would do it.
But someone I like. I'm not going to go and like visit Jim Morrison. Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Is that because you pick up bad vibes and you bring it home?
I just get, I mean,
Then
even,
you have to have
what?
3 showers. And
there are
all
many
that stuff.
graveyards in Perth.
Yeah.
Even every time we drive past it, I have to look away because I don't want them to catch my eyes.
Who's catching your eye?
I don't know, spirits floating around.
Yeah.
I don't want them to catch my eyes and then just go,
Like, oh, look, Grace is coming. Look,
yeah.
Quick.
So I'm always like trying to like avoid eye contact.
Yeah, weirdo.
Because you never know. You never know what you're going to bring back.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
So, I mean,
That's
this is
a luxury
a very,
of being a guilo. You never have to worry about that.
this is a very Chinese superstitious thing, So, yeah, on that note,
Right,
I
we're
think
done.
we are wrapped up this week. So we'll come back in 2 weeks' time, and then we might do a video, we might not. It depends how I feel. This is my podcast. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, see ya.
Bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed my chat today, hit follow on Spotify and Apple. Forward your favorite episode to a friend. Follow me on Don't Make Me Call Her on all social media platforms. Get in touch and tell me what topics you want to listen to. Tune in every other Friday for a new episode. Don't Make Me Call Her podcast series is produced by Herrooo Production. Music by Lindsay Lai at lindsaylai.com. Thanks to all my guests. Now, pick up the phone and call someone you care about. Bye!